You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Soak in the warm and fuzzies. It doesn't come along very often, especially from me. We love you. So we're going to do another episode for you so that you have something to listen to during your week or weekend or whenever you like to listen. We are going to do more Wrestle Talkies because, let's face it, it's the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast, not the Pittsburgh Something Else podcast. So that's what we're going to do. I'm Ransom. You know who that is. I have Tiger Bomb Tom here with me. I have Poot the Bard here with me. I have the Cruiserweight Champion also in, I apologize for that. Beef the Legend, the Cruiserweight Champ, is here. And I apologize. The last show was very Bloodline and Roman heavy. I get that, and I apologize. So this show, we won't. I promise. We'll move on to other things. But before we do, I have some more Roman stuff I want to talk about. Just kidding. Yeah, so that's that. Oh! I do have something I want to talk about. And it's not Roman Reigns. Did you guys happen to see Monday Night Raw or read about what happened on Monday Night Raw?
No.
Regarding...
So, Seth Rollins had a match with Damian Priest on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah. I saw this, but yeah.
It was supposed to be, just Damian Priest. Judgment Day wasn't going to be there. Well, Finn Balor showed up outside, and Damian had a few words with Finn. Damian was like, "Why are you here? Like, you shouldn't be here. Why are you here?" And then Seth Rollins gave him the old "what up and chew," and got the win. So I don't know if they're sowing seeds of a Judgment Day fracture here. I'm interested. I'm interested to see where that goes because, for the longest time, the Judgment Day seemed like they were real solid, and then this little stir up, this little dust up happened. I'm interested to see what the take is here. Do we think that's just kind of like a little one-off thing, or could somebody be separating themselves from the Judgment Day?
Oh, that's good speculation question.
So I mean, you saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the jiggery pokery. Yeah, well, I mean, we are almost exactly the same human being, except I'm stronger.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I mean, physically, yeah. Mentally, we'll see. Anyway, I think it would be a little bit of a mistake to do so. But on the other hand, what have they done with the Judgment Day? But here's the thing, like, Damian Priest is still getting world title matches and we're believing it. Finn Balor's in line for world titles and we're believing it. Dom Mysterio is the heat magnet. Rhea Ripley's the best women wrestlers in the company. Like, all of these things are true, and yet the Judgment Day continues to eat L's like they're fucking coming out of McDonald's. I get a gut feeling that this is going to go one of two ways. One, they take Priest out and replace him for JD McDonough, or they take out Finn Balor and replace him for JD McDonough. And as what has always been the case with the Irish Ace, he will be a permanent stand-in for Finn Balor the rest of his damn life.
Oh.
That's one of those takes that I think can only be equated for grabbing your collar and going, yeah.
I mean, where's the lie? He's from Bray, Whitlow County, Ireland. He was trained by Finn Balor. He looks like fucking Finn Balor.
They called him Baby Balor, And I also think I also liked his other name, Jordan Devlin, better. Jordan Devlin, because he would do a side suplex and they called it the Devlin side.
The Devlin side. What a great fucking name. I agree.
Baller. And he always did it where it was super high on their shoulders and it actually looked like a devastating finish.
Great fucking music too. But
right,
I think that's where that's headed. Is that McDonough ends up as part of the I almost said Bloodline. Jesus Christ! Part of Judgment Day.
The Judgment Line. The blood. The Bloodment.
The Bloodment.
The Bloodment Day.
The Bloodment.
Bludgeon. Speaking of Roman Reigns, let's.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
Yeah.
Is that where you think? Like you think Priest is? Like you think one of them's going?
I mean, it would be poetic if there was Balor, given what happened with Edge. But it makes more sense for Priest because I think that he still has a pretty big shot at being, a main event dude.
You mentioned Edge. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to kind of conclude with saying, like, as he proved on Monday night, I think that Punishment Martinez, a.k.a. Damian Priest, has a lot to give this company.
You mentioned Edge. I'm hesitant to say it.
Stop it.
But I'm gonna. Is it?
He's on SmackDown anyway.
All right, I'm done.
I saw that snake coming in the grass, and I just wanted to cut its head off before we even got there.
You did. You fucked it up before it even happened. So, all right, fair enough.
Sorry, and again, keeping with the snake analogy,
I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about different shows. So, fair enough.
I don't think we need that kind of cyclicity in the in this. I don't think we need Edge coming back in control and taking that Balor. I don't know, man. Like, again, like, Judgment Day is weird. They can eat all these losses and still, like, be absolute contenders. Go fucking figure. Speaking of, sorry, there's going to be a transition if you have more to add.
I don't know. I was going to prattle off into Nowheresville.
Into Ransom Town. Speaking of a contender, we are. I think we are on the precipice for a contender of the show of the year coming up here in a few weeks, and I'm not talking about any Money in the Bank. I'm talking about Forbidden Door 2.
Forbidden Door. Forbiddier than last time.
I feel like last year had a lot of hype, and it was good. It wasn't great. I feel agree. I feel like last year had a lot of promise, but got derailed by injuries. And I think that it's a very real possibility that this year's Forbidden Door could be what they wanted last year's to be, and could be fucking tremendous. Like, one of the best pay-per-views we will have seen in the modern era.
It's looking pretty fucking good, man. It's looking pretty fucking good.
Already signed is Kenny Omega versus Ospreay 2, which their first match, if that's not match of the year, it's in a tight 3-man race with the Intercontinental title from WrestleMania and the Pillars 4-way from Double or Nothing. But Kenny Omega versus Ospreay 1 was incredible, and I think that Omega Ospreay 2 is going to be even better. And I don't know if they're aiming for Ospreay Omega 3 in Wembley, but would not shock me. In addition to that, you have Bryan Danielson taking on Kazuchika Okada, which the
video, if I can really quick, the video promo that he fucking cut when he said, "They call you the Rainmaker while I'm in the desert." And like, just Bryan Danielson is so good. And like him and Kazuchika Okada is going to be unreal. That's going to be unreal.
I am still lamenting not getting Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. from last year.
Yeah.
But I get that Okada's a bigger draw than ZSJ.
Yeah.
I think ZSJ is a better wrestler, but again, I get that Okada is, what Okada is.
It's one of those things. It's star power versus, we're going to get a technical masterpiece.
Well, and I mean, begrudgingly, I will admit that Okada is one of the better workers in Japan and probably one of the better workers in the world, like top 5. He's pretty fucking good. There's a reason that he's had so many highly rated matches, and it's not just because he faced Kenny Omega a bunch or fucking faced, Will Ospreay or anything. It's because Kazuchika Okada is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, he can hold his own. Absolutely, 100%.
I don't feel that, like with Roman Reigns, and I hate fucking coming back.
Yes.
I feel like Okada's a little bit overrated, and I feel like a lot of people like to get on his taint, but I will give the devil his due. I think that Okada's pretty fucking good. So I think that, Danielson versus Okada is going to be a fucking masterclass. And you add in the potential of seeing MJF and Adam Cole, maybe seeing FTR versus the Golden Elite or whatever they're called, the Bullet Club Gold, excuse me, and seeing the Hung Bucks versus Blackpool Combat Club.
The what?
The fucking Hung Bucks. I love it.
Yeah.
Hung Bucks.
You heard me. That's what Excalibur called them last night. And I'm like, yep, I remember that from like 10 years ago. Yep. We are absolutely like wandering into like, and like adding into the fact that this is going to be Punk's first event back. Maybe he faces Kenta. Maybe he faces Samoa Joe. Maybe he faces, Hiroshi Tanahashi like he was supposed to last year. Who knows? I think that we are in fantasy booking territory with this one, and I think the sky's the limit.
Is there a possibility we see a surprise, not debut maybe, but like a surprise appearance by somebody that's well known
Shibata.
that we would not expect?
I mean, Shibata's the fucking Ring of Honor pure champion, isn't he? Like that.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm just throwing out names. I'm just throwing out names and goofing.
Somebody that like I would recognize as not a New Japan fan.
Kushida. I think it's possible that Kushida
would be cool.
Shows up and does something cool. Honestly, it's not outside the realm of possibility that we see Mercedes Moné. I know that she was probably going to debut and wrestle at that show, very likely, before her untimely injury. All injuries are untimely. But like I still think there's a chance that she makes an appearance, just not in a wrestling capacity. I don't know. I think that there are some like overhanging questions, like, because Bullet Club Gold and Bullet Club Original, like they don't do business. Like Jay White's, Finley, who is now leading Bullet Club Original, is like he was the reason that Jay White got kicked out of New Japan. So like they're not playing nice. They may end up having a match.
Like
and
legit kicked out?
Like it was a loser leaves town match.
Oh, okay.
So like that's how he lost the spot and it ended up in AEW. And then like I don't know what they're gonna do with Sonata, who's the current IWGP champion. It would be weird to see Sonata versus Max, but I'm here for it. I think that would be fun. Champ versus champ. Because it's possible that this whole like Adam Cole thing may be put on the back burner. Like he might lose the because you know how AEW does the championship eliminator matches. Well, he has one next week with MJF. It's possible that MJF screws him out and he loses, so he can gain more momentum, like All Out. And then, because last night Max cut a promo and he said very clearly that there's no one in this company left that's as good as me. And I thought for sure we were gonna get an opponent from New Japan Pro Wrestling for All Out or Forbidden Door. But so I mean, like, that's, you know, we still got a couple weeks left to kind of develop this. But I mean, you know, based upon those two matches alone and what could be elseways, like this could be a very a monumental event. So much so that I was like, we were gonna leave for a vacation on Sunday, and I'm like, fuck, that's Forbidden Door, and I pushed it back to Monday because I'm like, I'd rather leave Monday, come back Saturday, so that I can see Forbidden Door because it's gonna be that big of a deal.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, I recognize that I am an AEW Kyle, and that's fine. Like, you know, I can take all of the hate in the world for that. That's
Is
fine.
that what we're calling AEW Kyles? That's what we're calling them?
Yeah, WWE Stan AEW Kyles. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's official. That's what it is.
That's fucking funny.
But like, and like, I know that I've hyped a lot of AEW before, but yeah, honestly, I believe that this could be something that you don't want to miss. And of like Beef trying to sell an AEW pay-per-view, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I'm 100% here for it. Like, I'm glad that this year it's gonna get off the ground. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be entertaining. Now, I don't know how much of the podcast this is gonna take up, but we got our main event set for Collision, boys.
Accurate.
What do you think? I'll hold my tongue until everyone else has their piece.
What is the main event?
Beef? It is CM Punk and FTR taking on Bullet Club Gold and Samoa Joe.
Who's Bullet Club Gold?
Jay White and Juice Robinson. Excuse me, Rock Hard Juice Robinson.
I mean, if I was dating Tony Storm, I'd be rock hard too. So.
Dude, he looks fucking cut though. I mean, Juice Robinson. If you look at what Juice Robinson was even like 2-3 years ago to what he is now, like, he's put some time in at the gym. And he's always been a charisma guy. So like, I think, you know, if they can find some footing, I think he's gonna be a fucking star. I'm
still waiting on Man Dime to make it to AEW #IWC. So yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the crowd's gonna pop because it's Chicago. It's CM Punk. So obviously they got a main event set. They're obviously bringing him back essentially as a quote unquote face. I thought it'd be interesting if they brought him back as a heel, and there's an interesting way that they could have done it, but I guess that's not the case now. So I don't know. I mean, I never get to watch the weeklies anyways, so I don't know. I'm sure I'll see shit online for it.
I think that Saturdays are a real bad night for wrestling. I have not been a fan of this being a Saturday show forever. I'd much rather they put Collision on Friday nights and move Rampage to Saturday nights. Because, like, no one's home on Saturday nights. Or if you're home, you got plans doing something, you know. no one's sitting around except for losers that watch wrestling, sitting around on Saturday night doing nothing. I joke, but for the most part, that's
no one ever sits around and does nothing on Saturday night. Yeah, losers.
For the most part, that's it's gonna be a tough, and when they do,
Saturdays for the boys.
It's usually for special things, sporting events, championship finals, things like that. So it's
SummerSlam.
It's and WWE pay-per-views. Let's not belabor that. WWE seems to very much enjoy putting pay-per-views on Saturdays. Oh, and by the way, premium live events, excuse me. And by the way, I also appreciate WWE putting premium live events on Saturdays. I think that's a much better choice, and I wish AEW would have done that too. But
well, they were doing it, then they switched, right?
Right, because
now they have a weekly on Saturday.
Yeah, because of the one time that Dana White needed that Saturday for UFC, and Tony was like, "We're friends," and now Dana White is literally in bed with the competition. So wah ba 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 ba, and it's gonna be a tough road to hoe. But that being said, I think that this is a great main event, and you're going to be hard pressed to find 5 better wrestlers, to put him with right now at this point. They're all the other 5 are really good in the ring. All the other 5 are consummate professionals and consummate veterans. And I think it's smart for CM Punk not to have a singles match his first night back to kind of ease into it. Let's face facts. CM Punk's an old man.
Yeah, he's getting on. He's getting on, buddy.
Gasp, shock, and awe.
This is CM Punk's Old Man Logan run, and with any luck, it will be just as moving and impactful as Old Man Logan. But all that being said, absolutely the jury is still out. Reportedly, Punk wants to do business with Jay White. I think that would be a great top feud for Collision. Getting Jay White some exposure, and hopefully Punk has the foresight to make sure that the right guy goes over.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
But Jay White has also gone into business for himself a few times as well. So if Phil gets a little mouthy, who knows where we get? No, I don't anticipate it being an issue.
It's Brawl Out Part 2.
I absolutely feel like CM Punk and FTR is the way to go, and is a money match. And if they don't eventually cash in with having it be CM Punk and FTR versus the Elite at All Out or All In, either one, I think it's going to be a mistake.
Man, the fact that we have these little moments of dead time is kind of I think it's promising because, like I said, we have gone at length about CM Punk and his current contributions to wrestling and what it means and what it can be and what it can do and what he will be and how he will act and everything, but the fact that we have this multiple individual thing. We're not just putting CM Punk up 1v1, putting him in. It's kind of, and not saying this in a way that is shitty, but it's getting the Jarrett treatment. Plus, Punk being with FTR, I love that. We talked about that. How great is that? They're buddies. FTR are fun, and if they can kind of be a buffer for Punk, and him working with them, him being happy working with them, he'll be happy to work with other people. I really believe that. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that's where I'm at.
Here's my hot take. I don't worry about another brawl out situation. I don't think that's going to happen. I worry because CM Punk gets very hot and very cold. He sometimes CM Punk is so excited to be part of professional wrestling that he's bursting with ideas. And he wants to help, and he wants to be the guy that gets people, bigger and better. Look what he did for Max. Honestly, I think that the MJF feud with Punk really did a lot in making MJF a top level heel. So like he absolutely still has that fire and that desire to do so, which is great. When CM Punk is happy, when CM Punk is fat and satisfied, I think the wrestling world's a better place. But the problem is that CM Punk is kind of bipolar, in that sometimes he just decides that he doesn't want to be a wrestler anymore, or that he's tired of wrestling, or he's tired of what wrestling has become. And that's a CM Punk that is one that makes mistakes, that gets sloppy, that starts shit, that starts fucking popping off at the mouth. And I think that there's no rhyme or reason to it. I think he's always been this way, man. Like, yeah, in Ring of Honor he was happiest, I think. But like in Impact, him and I think Julio Denario got into it when they were part of Ravens Flock.
You mean Julio Denario?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm not. That wasn't me being smarter, like going like, oh, let's make fun of beef. It's Julio Denario. I didn't know if I'm like, is that someone else? I don't know.
Nope. It is the Julio Denario that trained Kato.
Yeah, man.
Him and Punk were part of Ravens Flock, and they had like a tiff or whatever in Impact, and it ended up where so again, a happy Punk is best for business.
Yep.
So if keeping him with FTR and them being his emotional support tag team, I'm fine with it. Because I think I'm not trying to mollycoddle, but like I think that CM Punk can and will be great, but I think that he has to have that proper, I think he's got to have that that impetus to do so.
I
Ransom,
agree.
you've been remarkably quiet.
Yeah.
Are you trying to avoid shitting on my dreams again?
I mean, I don't want to parade rain.
Well, yeah, but it's at this point it's a different outlook,
Well, here's my outlook on it. I was asleep when CM Punk came back the first time in AEW. By this point, I'm in a coma. I get it. I get it. Again. Look at the cruiserweight standings. I clearly don't understand wrestling. But I don't get it with Punk. I don't get it. The run he had as WWE champion was really good. But after that, I don't get it. I don't get it when he came back in AEW. Everybody loves CM Punk. He's great. It's like, oh, money. He can do things. We got to put him with the right people, or else he gets grumpy and sad. And takes his ball and goes home. He loses his smile. Hobble bobble. But I don't know. I don't get the pomp and circumstance behind the dude. I just don't. And like once again, I clearly don't understand wrestling. Look at the standings. Look at the last time I was Cruiserweight champion decades ago. But I don't know. I don't get it. He does nothing for me. And I think it culminates with the whole like, well, we got to make sure he's happy. We got to make sure he's got his emotional support tag team. We got to make sure that everybody's there to give him that pat on the back and say, you're doing a good job. We're glad you're here. We're so happy you're here. Tell us who you want to work with. Tell us what you want to do. We don't want to upset you. We don't want to put you in a match that you don't want to be in because we don't want to make you sad and upset. I mean, other than this podcast, I could give two shits about CM Punk. I could care less if he comes back. I care less if he goes to WWE. I could care less if he goes to Impact. I could care less. I care less if he goes to IWC. I don't care. And I'm not, there are times when I try to be Ransom and just get under your skin. And, like, oh, this is going to be fun to get beef riled up and let me start a fight with beef. But in God's honest truth, hand to God, this is not one of those times. I'm not trying to be a Ransom dickhead. Like, it's really not. This is Adam talking to Jeff. This is Phil talking to Paul. I don't get it. I don't. I'm not rooting for him to fail because I think rooting for somebody to fail in wrestling is rooting for wrestling itself to fail.
Unless it's Goldberg.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem rooting for him to fail. Fuck him.
Yeah. Let's just had to clarify that.
Yeah. No, I get you there. there.
Okay.
But I'm not rooting for him to fail. Like, I hope he does well in AEW, because if he does well in AEW does well. And if they do well, the events that I get to see are going to be all the better. So no, I'm not being a dickhead and like, oh, I can't wait for him to have his next blow up and, come on the podcast and, get my balls out and be like, oh, I told you so, suck it easy, fucking. It's not that. I don't at all want that.
Balls out.
You heard. Wash your balls.
AEW balls out.
The AEW balls out. I don't know. Like, I'm not excited, and it's not because of any particular reason other than like I don't get it. But I hope this time is completely different. I hope he kills it. I hope it goes well. I hope it's successful because, again, if he's successful there, AEW is successful, and if they're successful, the events that I get to watch are great.
So let me ask you this: Is it possible that with this run that he could make you excited?
Oh, absolutely. Anything's possible. Like, I'm not closed-minded to this. I haven't shut it out being like, I don't care and I don't want to care and I will never care and nothing he can do can change my mind. It absolutely could. He could come back and this could be, like maybe the run that I was hoping for. Maybe he does. Like, he gets me invested and he gets me excited and I see something. I'm like, shit, he's fucking killing it. Like I'm absolutely open to that idea. And to be honest, I hope that's the way it works. Like, I hope I go into this going like my expectations are buried miles beneath the surface of the earth. That's how low they are. And I hope by the end of it, it's like, fuck, I wish I would have been excited when he came back, because then like I would have really gone into this looking forward to it and I would have been ecstatic. So if he comes back and has an immaculate run and it's something special, I will be happy to come on the podcast and go, boy, I was fucking wronger than wrong could ever be.
To me.
Yeah, man.
There are very few people who can talk like CM Punk can talk. He has just and like he uses cult of personalities, but like that's what he is. He is so good at what he does. And yes, it helps that like me and like a bunch of the people have the history with him, because I'm not gonna like beleaguer the fact that I think a lot of the people out there wrestling right now used him as a little bit of a template. MJF has even admitted to such, I think that there are a lot of guys right now who are pretty young that use CM Punk and said, I want to be like this guy. I want to talk like this guy. I want to wrestle like this guy. I just feel like I don't know, man. I guess I'm like I'm like a spurned lover, like I'm always willing to give Phil Brooks one more chance, because what we had was so special and so fiery that like maybe it'll get there again. And like tale of most spurned lovers, maybe I'm just setting myself up for failure. Maybe letting that guy back into my life is the worst thing that I can do, and it's toxic for me. But like the one thing I will say about CM Punk is that it's never been boring.
No, you're right.
Like him, hate him, whatever, he has always given you a reason to talk about what he's doing. And again, I'm aware that, probably 50% of that's bad press.
Sounds
But
like Roman
again,
Reigns.
Exactly.
Well, hey man, I can tell you from being in the fucking industry, no press is fucking bad press, buddy.
I think
Exactly.
I think I would have a different outlook if I knew Punk. Like if I kind of grew up with him, kind of like you did, Beef. Like if I knew him back in the Ring of Honor days and I watched him then, I probably would have a different outlook on it. I think it's the me. You to CM Punk, I feel like is almost kind of like me with Shawn Michaels. Like
Fair.
I started watching wrestling when Shawn Michaels was the champion. Like that's when I started. I've gone back and watched previous stuff, but like when I first picked up wrestling was when Shawn Michaels was the champion and D-Generation X was starting. And like I saw this guy and I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized by his mic skills. I was mesmerized by what he could do in the ring. I was mesmerized by how the fans reacted to him. Like people cheered for him. People wanted to be him. I wanted to be Shawn Michaels. And like I think I latched on to him as a performer. And when he left, I was devastated. And when he came back at Survivor Series in 2002, Survivor Series or SummerSlam?
I thought it was Survivor Series.
No, I think he faced Triple H at SummerSlam.
Was it for the street fight? Is that when he came back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then that was
it. Yep,
SummerSlam. That was SummerSlam.
So like when he first came, like when they brought him back first as a member of the NWO, like I lost my shit. And then when he came back and wrestled Triple H, like I had one of those emotional moments that people had whenever CM Punk came back to AEW. Like when he first came back to wrestling and debuted in AEW, like there were people that had an emotional reaction to seeing him come back. I had that emotional reaction to seeing Shawn Michaels come back because he was my wrestling hero. And I do believe that my outlook on Punk would have been different if I would have watched what he did at the time, like not gone back and watching it, but if I was in the moment watching him in Ring of Honor and watching him evolve there and then go to WWE and watching him there, I think my outlook would be different. I think I would have a different opinion of it. I think I'd be rooting for him. Like I would be actively rooting for him. And I would have that feeling of like, fuck yeah, he's back. Like finally after that time he left WWE, he's back to wrestling. I'm so fucking excited. I think I'd have that. But I think that's part of the reason why I don't, is because I didn't know CM Punk until I saw him in WWE. And, it wasn't that long before, he had reached that point in WWE where he was sick of everything and, left. And then he had that bitch session with Colt Cabana and then their relationship with South. And then he showed up in AEW and then I know that fucking went south. And then I'm like, okay, fuck this guy.
By the way, I listened to that podcast. It was on YouTube the one day while I was cleaning up the apartment. Boy, fucking howdy, that did not age well.
No. I mean, he openly aired his grievances. Like, it was unapologetically airing of grievances. That's the fucking, that podcast was the definition of fucking Festivus. Like,
Yep.
all he was missing was feats of strength and the Festivus pole, and pow, you would have had it. That was an epic airing of grievances. And at the time I was like, well, yeah, fuck them. Like they treated him like shit. Fuck WWE, because like, look, he tried and tried and tried. Like, I was full team CM Punk at that point. Like, when I listened to that podcast, I was like, geez, I would have left too. Fuck those guys. What a terrible place. But then as time went on, it didn't age well. And, he had that thing in AEW, and it's like, oh, well, I'm sure not everything he said about WWE was a lie. I don't know if everything he said about WWE was the truth, because now he's having this self-destruct session in AEW. So, but in any case, I'm fully digressing. I hope he succeeds. I hope I get the chance to go, okay, now I see what Beef was fucking saying. Like, I get it. I get it now. I'm on board, and I want to see him wrestle at these AEW events that I watch. I hope that happens.
Beef brought up a really interesting analogy that of a spurned lover, being a CM Punk fan, and I could see that being kind of fitting. Again, like Ransom, I don't actively root for him to fail, but like we said, not if, more so of a when he implodes again. I'm not going to be like, well, shucksy doodle, I'm fucking surprised now. Like, it's just, I want to try to be cautiously optimistic, but I'm really just kind of waiting for the shoe to drop, not wanting it to, but it's what I'm expecting. And I hate that that's the fact. I hate that it's kind of the same thing. Like, whenever we were sitting around watching pay-per-views, like WWE pay-per-views, waiting for it to be bad, and then it was shockingly good. You're just like, oh well, okay, that'll last for only so long. Like, I don't know. I don't want to have that attitude, but
no, I completely get what you're saying. Like, I'm not rooting for him to have an implosion.
Yeah,
I'm expecting it.
Right,
but I'm not rooting for it to happen.
Sometimes you can't help but to be conditioned to expect certain things when you see a pattern of certain events, or whatever it may be, a pattern of certain events or certain things happening with people, or a pattern with the product, or whatever the case may be. It's hard not to get drawn to those conclusions, like that. Hey, well, this is what it's gonna be. I would love for him to prove me wrong. I would love for him to prove me and Ransom wrong, and anybody else that thinks that he's gonna have an inevitable implosion and just fucking self-destruct again. But I don't know. Well,
I'm not. So I'm completely. I understand exactly where you're coming from, because I think I feel that way. Like, I'm hoping that he finishes up this AEW run, whenever that may be, with him coming back now, having a successful run, and saying, you know what, I've done everything I need to do, and I'm going to ride off into the sunset. It's been great, and we're all a little disappointed that he's leaving, but we're happy with how it turned out. I'm hopeful that that's what happens. My expectation is he's going to be there for a while, and like Beef said, he's eventually going to get stale in the bit, like not with the fans. Like he's going to start to feel stale himself and feel stagnant. And when that happens, his ire is going to get irked and something's going to happen. And whether or not he has another pop off at somebody, or he's just like, I'm fucking hurt and I'm grouchy and I hate everything and I'm going to go. I'm going to leave. I'm kind of expecting that to happen, but again, you know, I really am not trying to shit on anybody's, you know, parade here. I genuinely hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I hope that he comes back, has success, everybody makes money, the product does well, and when he is ready to go, he goes on his own terms, he goes happy, and we're happy.
Speaking of shitting on somebody's parade, do we have any Stump the Chumps questions?
We don't.
What?
What?
Our parade has been shit on.
Well, fuck. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
No,
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's been a couple months since we touched them. So like, you know, the two that usually right, but like before, like that one that one we did last week was from April.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, so like I get it. April 27th was patched from last week. So I guess a month and a little bit. So like I get it. They don't like to like let them fester in there too long. They like it to be heard. Ryuk said he's working on one, but he knows that we're really good at them. So,
I mean, were you gonna bring up another conversation, or you want me to find a question? Let's do it. Let's get weird with it.
What?
Like WWE trivia.
Oh, like our hot tag trivia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an old segment.
What do you guys think?
Right? We're bringing it back.
I'm not.
All right, fine.
I
Beef has
have
made
no
the
idea what to
decision.
do. And
Beef has made the decision. We're not doing it.
Poot, if you want to find a question and ask, we can try to figure out Poot's. But I am not going to go find a question because okay.
Because he's old, he's tired, and he works with fucking children.
I got a good one. I got a good one.
You want a fact? Hold on. You want a fact? I have many things that I'm very good at. Talking, being charismatic, all of these are eating a lot. These are all things that I'm really good at. Thinking about wrestling.
Calm down.
Thinking about wrestling, I'm very good about. Thinking clinically and critically about wrestling, I'm very good at. What I'm not good at is figuring out fucking trivia questions. That is something that is a blind spot for me. I am not good at thinking about what it would be a good trivia question because mine are either always too easy or too hard. So that's why I don't like hot tag trivia.
I think I have a good one.
Okay, Poop.
Okay, just stick with me. What WrestleMania did not feature a traditional males single match?
Sweet mother.
Wow.
I don't think this is too far crazy. I think this thread's right in that needle.
Now you're talking about a singles, like,
is that a traditional male?
So like
match?
Countouts, disqualifications, everything. There can still be one-on-one matches, but they're gimmick matches, right?
I don't know about that. I'm looking at the question that I found. Okay. And I'm just like, I'm not trying to be like overly like I didn't prepare. This is off the cuff, and I saw this one and went, this is good. When I say that, it was what WrestleMania did not feature a traditional male singles match in the sense of two male wrestlers going one-on-one.
Oh, fuck.
Like these recordings are going to come out. And he's going to hear us talking, and he's going to think that we're talking over him. But in reality, Poot, we're just talking because we can't hear you.
Yep. The audience.
Wait, you can't hear me?
Nope.
Now we can.
You can't.
Now we can.
Okay. It is a males. It is a. What WrestleMania did not feature a traditional male singles match? That was just two male wrestlers going one-on-one.
Okay.
So I think by the way that's worded, I think they are talking about a singles match like no gimmicks. Like with
Right.
ADQ, with that count out.
With
All right.
like a ladder match or the I quit match, like
Right,
there's not
right.
some sort of stipulation. Okay. Well, let's put on our thinking caps here. Could it be the very first WrestleMania?
No.
No.
Nope. Wait. No, no. There were definitely like singles matches at WrestleMania 1.
Okay. Boy.
WrestleMania 2 is a contender.
Good Lord, by far.
Poot, did you say the only WrestleMania to feature?
It says here, what WrestleMania did not feature a traditional male singles match? So I'm going to assume that it is the only one.
Well, I mean, you can see the answer, so you could tell us if there's.
Yes,
only
it's
one.
the only one.
Okay.
It might
Right.
be WrestleMania 2000.
I
think I read a stat about that once, because that was the one where The Rock defended against Triple H defended against Big Show, Rock, and Mick Foley in the main event. That had Benoit, Jericho, and Angle in the IC European title match. It was the Hardcore Battle Royal.
Okay.
The Undertaker, the Undertaker did not wrestle that night. He was injured that year.
Okay. Obviously, we would have had the tag team titles defended at some point. So
yeah, I think so.
Was that the McMahon in every corner pay-per-view?
That was.
Oh,
Okay.
McMahon in every corner. Good Lord.
So WrestleMania 2000 might be the answer. And like, I'm not sitting here like racking my brain thinking about all these WrestleManias that I know that are like just logged for billions of eons. But like, I remember at some point in my Facebook list readings, like top 10 WrestleManias. I remember, I think I read that somewhere. The WrestleMania 2000 did not feature a man in a singles match. And I mean, I can't think.
Well, I mean, you could run through real quick. Obviously, we know WrestleMania 3 is out of the question.
Right. So is WrestleMania 4. So is WrestleMania 5. So is WrestleMania 6. So is WrestleMania 7. So is WrestleMania 8. So is WrestleMania 9. So is WrestleMania 10. So is WrestleMania 11. So is WrestleMania 12. Yes, Hunter faced Warrior in a regular match that night. WrestleMania 13 had some. WrestleMania 14 had some. Yes, WrestleMania 15 had some. Did they? Yes. WrestleMania 16 is the one in question. 17 had one, at least one. WrestleMania 18 had some. WrestleMania 19 had some.
Pretty much any other
20.
Pretty much
21.
any other. Yeah, any other one like going forward after the year after WrestleMania 2000 would have it because Undertaker would have been part of it. So it would have to be which one would you say? Which one did you say it was? WrestleMania 2000. That's WrestleMania
2000 was 16.
Okay.
So the Undertaker did miss a couple manias thereafter, maybe one. I don't know though. And sometimes the Undertaker, like there WrestleMania 19, he was part of a trip or a handicap match. It was supposed to be a tag team match, but ended up being a handicap match. But like unless What about WrestleMania 36? WrestleMania 36 might be another one.
Which one?
What even happened there? Yeah.
That was COVID Mania. Was there like
no,
a
because Drew
straight
and
up?
Brock.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I guess they were straight up.
And that was Drew and Brock, and then and Edge and Orton in the greatest
Right.
WrestleMania match ever.
Right, but that wasn't. No. Edge and Orton had like a weird I think it was a last man standing match or something.
No, it wasn't.
The greatest.
Wasn't that the one where they wrestled through the arena? No, that wasn't that one.
Yes, it
Or was
was.
it?
Yes, it was.
It wasn't a last man standing match, though, was it?
It was something. It was something that didn't have traditional rules.
No,
the greatest match ever took place at like Backlash or some shit. I will put my reputation on the line for that. Edge and Orton had some sort of a weird fucko match at WrestleMania 36. The greatest match ever took place at a different pay-per-view after that. I think it was Backlash.
I thought it was supposed to have been that match took place at WrestleMania, and it got lauded as the greatest WrestleMania match ever, and then that's where we drew the comedy spoof of it, of like whatever.
No, they literally had a match called the greatest match ever, and that was not the WrestleMania match.
I'm almost positive
they brawled all over the arena for that one.
I'm almost positive it was at WrestleMania, because it was one of our Stump the Chumps questions was something about the longest.
Right, but
you two were arguing about an
right.
answer to a question that was not asked.
Anyways,
it wasn't COVID Mania, because that was Drew and Brock in the championship match.
Right.
So why don't we just say that it's probably McMahon in every corner Mania?
Were all the men's matches like tag matches or
multi-man matches?
Yeah, were they all? Wow, I don't think I ever knew that.
Backlash 2020, by the way, Tom. Was the greatest match ever.
Fuck. Can't believe they actually called it that.
Oh, Brackrash.
Yeah, I mean, because all the singles titles were involved in multi-man matches. And
tag titles would be a not answer.
Right. And I feel like there wasn't enough star power in the Attitude Era. If you have 4 people in the main event, 3 people in the mid card title match, and then all of your bottom feeders in a hardcore battle royal, what
all you're left with are tags?
Yeah, I mean there wasn't much. What did Kane do? Where was Kane at WrestleMania 16? Was Kane a thing? Kane definitely would have been a thing.
Oh yeah, by then he was our thing at.
Yeah. WrestleMania 14. Yep. What did Kane do?
Oh, was that weird match where they had? Because that's hold on, WrestleMania 2000. Was Triple H a champion?
Yes.
So that would have been back when DX were heels.
No.
So would that have?
This was my time, Triple H.
Oh.
Triple H,
I thought Kane,
the McMahon Helmsley regime.
Yeah, but I thought DX was part of that, because they fell in line with Triple H, and that's when
oh, you might be right.
Were heels, because wasn't Rikishi feuding with X-Pac, or not Rikishi, Kane feuding with X-Pac over Tori or some shit.
Yep. Was that?
Oh, Rikishi! It was.
This is so fun. This is so fun.
It was that weird ass tag match with Kane and Rikishi versus DX.
Yep. You're 100% correct.
And that always seemed weird, because it was fucking Kane and Rikishi are tagging together. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yep, you're 100% correct. Yeah, I'm fairly certain, between just running through the matches in my mind and remembering what I read, I think WrestleMania 2000 is the right answer, which is WrestleMania 16. Because I can't think of another. Because I mean we're I'm 98% sure it's WrestleMania 2000. The only other one that creeps in is WrestleMania 2
Well, that's outside my wheelhouse.
but I mean, like, they didn't have a lot of gimmicks back then.
They just had wackadoo characters.
That was even kind of before the wackadoo characters.
Oh, was it?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's right. They did have like serious characters, and then they got real fucking wacky.
So yeah, I think WrestleMania 2000 is the right answer. Final answer.
Everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 16, i.e. WrestleMania 2000, did not feature a traditional male singles match. WWE's biggest pay-per-view of 2000 was one of the weirder ones you'll ever see. As you can see by the results, which click here on the link, there were exactly 0 matches featuring 2 male wrestlers going 1-on-1. There were triple threats, tag team matches, fatal 4-ways, but no singles matches whatsoever. Triple H was in the main event, though, so I guess this pay-per-view wasn't that weird.
Fantastic.
That was a good one.
Now, didn't that turn out to be nice?
It did.
There you go. So,
And again, I'm not pissing anybody else. But you guys bring great bring great questions to the table.
I could speak great.
My
Sorry,
Rude.
Cedric. Go on.
I'm not going to expound on that. My point here is that like, you guys always bring great questions to the table. It was my own inadequacies that made me not like doing that.
that's
go.
fair.
A little about
That's
me.
fair. But there you go.
I remember
did
you
great.
bringing decent questions before. I remember I liked whenever we would like it was 1 week like Ransom asked me, and then next week it was Beef asking me, and it's like it was cool. I liked it.
It was fun. I just always felt like I was under pressure, and I didn't like
Under
it.
pressure.
The thing
not
that
for
you
me.
pushing down on me. The thing that you do is you just find a question that you like, and if it gets knocked down like immediately, then no big deal. But if it leads to like discussion and stuff, that's cool too. You just like go, I like that question, and
I
you
like that
just
we
ask
had-
it.
I like that we had trivia in the trivia. That was fun about the greatest match ever.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
But gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. But
Yeah.
it is time. It is time. it is time to humble some jabronis. Give it to him, buddy.
Oh, let me talk to you, jabronis. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to talk to you about Casual Gaming Dad himself, our very own Tiger Uppercut Bomb Tom over here, and his page, Casual Gaming Dad. Go over to Facebook, like Casual Gaming Dad, follow him, do all the things that Facebook will allow you to do, and join Casual Gaming Dad's Corner, because you'll have a really good time. And you'll join a great community as well. And you make sure not only do you follow him over there on Facebook, like him on Facebook, all the things on Facebook, go ahead and subscribe to him on YouTube. That's Casual Gaming Dad. And over on Twitch, Casual Gaming Dad 84. And go hunt him down. Make sure you like him, subscribe to him, give him all the bits, stars, and all the money that you have in your wallet. Give him all your money. Give Casual Gaming Dad all your fucking money. Talking about money being given, going over to gouldgaming.com, search on Casual Gaming Dad, and buy yourself some Casual Gaming Dad merch. Highly, highly, highly quality stuff over there. And then you can get your own P3 Podcast t-shirt. Listen to the P3 Podcast as well there, motherfuckers. And go on back over to Twitch. We're jumping back over there across the pond. That's what they call it. You're going back over to Twitch, and you're going to like Beef the Legend 13. That's twitch.tv/BeefTheLegend13. He streams occasionally. You're going to go back on over to YouTube across the puddle back over to YouTube, and you're going to subscribe to our very own Madman's channel, Frig Off Ransom. He's one of the funniest boys, and I say that as his emotional support Poot and as completely unbiased. Yeah, while you're over there, make sure you go on over and subscribe to Poot the Bard as well. And go back on over to Twitch across that puddle again. And you subscribe to twitch.tv/Poot the Bard. Okay? Twitch.tv/Poot the Bard. I'm going to be making time to be streaming more often because I enjoy it. Because I don't know if you noticed from these tags, I can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. It's what I'm good at, baby. Beef's good at wrestling stuff. Ransom's good at getting us riled up. Tom's good at things, and I'm good at talking. So there you go. You're good at a lot of things, Tom. Things covers a lot of ground. That covers metallurgy. That covers truck driving. That covers cooking. That covers baking. That covers alchemy. That covers surgery on the brain. So there you go. I was giving you a lot of credit, cowboy. Don't discredit me ever. Yeah. And we want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler, who, by the way, this is, okay, I'm breaking kayfabe here a little bit on this last little thing. I hung out with Mr. Tischler last weekend at our local Relay for Life event. I was asked to MC because, again, when someone needs someone to just yak for 4.5 hours, that's a light day for this guy. So they asked me to go ahead and MC and make announcements and stuff for our Relay for Life. So I volunteered. And not trying to puff my own self up here. But the person who was my DJ, who was playing music in between, was Mr. Sean Tischler. And we sat there for about 4.5 hours, yakking about wrestling, talking about life, talking about stuff, and it was a lot of fun. So big shout out to Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with independent wrestling in the greater Pennsylvania Commonwealth. Seriously, Sean, it was a lot of fun, and we should do it more often, man. We should go grab a beer sometime if you're listening to this podcast. I have
an Oscar question.
What?
Did you ask him how his garage door storage business was going?
I did not, because I could tell that was a sensitive topic, because I mentioned that I pulled into my parents' garage and he got a 1,000-yard stare. And I didn't want to mention anything, so I didn't ask him. But you know what? Next time I will ease into broaching that topic. But seriously, Sean, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you, buddy, and we need to do it again soon. For myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, for Mr. Tiger,
Uppercut,
Bomb Tom, and his Page Casual Gaming Dad, for our resident madman. Hey, listen, nobody bats 1,000, baby. For our resident madman, Ransom over there, and for our wrestling encyclopedia and your true Cruiserweight champion, Beef the Legend. Have a lovely night, everyone. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Rest in peace, Shiggy baby.
Fucking bullshit.